each year that passes, I refer to myself less and less as a gamer and more of a freak for nostalgia. Playing the Nintendo DS was probably one of the greatest moments in my childhood, even though I would lose half of my games inside of the car seat, or trade in my games and systems every time a new one was announced. In today's video, we're going to dawn upon the age of the Nintendo DS. Now that it's 2025 and we've seen tons of different handhelds and systems be released since the dawn of the DS, it really makes me think to myself, I really do miss this era of gaming, where games weren't just AAA masterpieces with insane graphics and budgets and studios getting deleted off of planet Earth, and more of the time where games were just shoveled onto the DS platform and sold for very cheap. I really feel like we're losing this aspect of gaming as of lately with all of these huge AAA budget games, but that's a topic for a different video. The Nintendo DS launched on November 21st, 2004. Now I waited a good few years before I actually picked one of these up because, you know, when you're a child and you don't work or have money or responsibilities, it's a little bit hard for you to come across some of these, which also explains why later down the line I was trading in every DS system when a new one was announced. The Nintendo DS had an arsenal of games to choose from, whether it is New Super Mario Bros. Or it's a Red Bull promotional video game that was shoveled onto the platform. But when I look back at it, a lot of the games that I really had a lot of fun playing go as far as New Super Mario Bros. DS, Mario Kart DS, Mario 64 DS, a lot of Mario games. I mean, everybody loves those games. I also really enjoyed playing some of the Kirby games on the DS, like Kirby Mass Attack, and games that are completely left field. So I would enjoy playing the DS handheld versions of the Lego titles. I believe there's like 12 Lego games on the DS, and that doesn't even count all of the console ones. They just really hold up, and I feel like the formula to any Lego video game is just a 10 out of 10. What really made me make this video today? And I guess that's pretty simple. Like I said in the beginning of this video, when I was a kid and I had all of these DS's, I would get a DS, play it for a year, see a new one was coming out, and I would trade it in. So for the longest time, I've been sitting with no DS. I believe I just traded a DS in a long while back, and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to repurchase my DS library of my childhood. So one of my favorite models of the DS was actually the 2DS, which is kind of like a door stopper. It doesn't close, and it really reminisces of the OG Game Boy design, which I absolutely love. So recently I was scounging around looking to where I could buy a 2DS in the best condition. The first stop was the local video game store where a 2DS was for sale, but it was kind of marked up and there was a lot of scratches on the screen. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this one to my brother and I'm gonna keep looking for the best condition 2DS that I could find without breaking the bank, because these things get expensive, man. Sealed DS's in the box or 3DS's in the box go for almost $1,000, so that's definitely not happening even in today's budget. So what I did is I found a eBay listing of a 2DS that had a screen protector on the screen and was thrown in a drawer for years. I then began to collect a lot of the games from my childhood, ranging from the Marios and all sorts of different titles, and I even picked up a lot of the shovelware games. So I believe I could put a picture up on screen. I think I picked up roughly 80 something games for the DS, and I've just been flooding a shelf with them to just have them in my collection as a showpiece of games that I loved playing as a child. Going back to the beginning of this video, I really feel as time goes on, I feel less and less of a gamer and more of like a freak for nostalgia, because a lot of new games come out, they blow up in the media, and I kind of bat an eye towards them and then just look in the other direction and go back to the few handfuls of games that I do love playing on various systems. As of recent, the handheld market has not really been on par with the Nintendo DS in my opinion. I did have a few Nintendo Switches and a Steam Deck, and though I did love my experience with both of them, I really feel like they lacked the whole pocket portability aspect. I think there's definitely an audience for a new release of a Nintendo DS. I think a lot of people with heavy nostalgia for the system, including myself, would definitely pick up a new DS if they decided to remaster the system. Now, I've seen a ton of clamshell gaming PCs, like portable ones by either AMD or some other companies, and even similar things like the Analog Pocket for those who want a revamped experience of either their Game Boy games or Nintendo DS. But I think it would really be insane if Nintendo actually stepped up and made the product themselves. This video was more of just an off-the-cuff DS discussion video. I know a lot of people online, they'll do the retrospective or a deep dive, but I figured I kind of would just put my own twist on the style of video and give my backstory why I liked the DS and just talk about it in 2025. If this isn't already set in stone, obviously you should go out and buy a DS in 2025. It's a very cheap system to get into if you're not buying them sealed in the box and you're just looking to build a big collection of video games. The Nintendo 3DS definitely does have a strong modding community if you're not actually interested in going to game stores or picking up the games physically to throw them on the shelves, but I definitely do find a aspect of enjoyment and I guess you could say childhood fulfillment to walk in stores and buy these games once again in 2025 for old time's sakes. That's really it for today's discussion. Let me know down below what you guys think of the DS/3DS in 2025. Do you guys still play them? Do you still own them? Do you mod them? Would love to know down below in the comments. Let's get a little discussion going in the comments. I'll make sure to respond to all of them. And yeah, I would say in the near future, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a DS Nintendo Switch Online application for the Switch 2. But beyond that, I don't really see much of a future for the Nintendo DS as much as I would like to see that, you know? I feel like it had its run, was one of the most sold handheld systems of all time, and now they're putting all their focus towards the Switch 2, which I totally understand. So, a lot of new videos coming soon. It's going to be a lot of Switch 2 videos and 2025 discussions / retrospectives on old games that I love and enjoy in systems and platforms. I would definitely subscribe if you're into this kind of content. And yeah, that's really it. Follow the links in the description. Have a good one.